Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video today I'm going to be telling you about the secret to successful agricultural startups. I'm going to be telling you the secret on why farms succeed. Why should you listen to me? My name is Simeon Odi, and a few years back I was building one of the biggest farms in Nasarawa State, but I failed. I failed because I did not incorporate some of the lessons that I'm going to teach you today. I failed because I was naive, not because I wasn't intelligent, not because I didn't know what I was doing, but because I made some mistake alongside, and there is always a consequence to every action. There is always, the universe will always reward you based on your actions. Now, I am going to be teaching you some of the secrets that you will need if you want to build a successful farm in the world, not only in Africa, not only in Nigeria, not only in Pakistan, anywhere you are in the world. This secret is tested and it is proven. Please, if this is your first time on this channel, consider subscribing to this channel so that you get notified when I post amazing content about my stories and how I am about to bounce back to build from where I stop. Now, without further ado, let us bounce back to the video and let us discuss the secrets that most successful agricultural startups applied. The first secret that most agricultural farms apply is the concentration. You see, when we talk about concentration, we are talking about focusing on one agricultural product at a time. I failed in this aspect because I was doing virtually everything. I was into goat farming, I was into pig farming, I was into fish farming, I was into garri processing, I was doing this, I was doing that. You know, so when you are not focused, what happens is that you have a divided mindset. Now let us talk about the divided mindset. The divided mindset comes in so many forms, and you will see why it's hurting your farm instead of progressing your farm. Let us start with my example. I started with goats. Now, if I have concentrated on the goats, by now I will have had pedigree. By pedigree, I mean I will have been able to breed a Boer goat or a Kalahari goat from F1 to the F6 generation. I will have been able to crossbreed them with our local breed, and I will have them many now ready to sell to Nigerians that want to start their farm using the Boer goat, the Savannah goat, or the Kalahari goat. I will have been able to set up more pasture. That is, I will have been able to buy more acres of land so that I can plant either maize or I can plant grasses like bicaria or any other grass that I can use to make silage for this goat and where they can go and feed naturally. But because I decided to divide my attention, I have a 19,000 fish capacity. I have almost a 600 capacity pig house. I have a garri capacity that was in tons, where we had 3 engines that was doing garri cassava for us. I have a poultry facility of about 3,000 poultry facility, and among many other things that we are doing. Now, imagine the money it takes to feed 19,000 fish. Imagine the money it takes to feed 3,000 chicken. Imagine feeding 600 pigs. Imagine the tons of garri processing that we are doing. Imagine that I use just 5% of that money to concentrate on my goats. By now, the goat farm will have been what it was supposed to be, one of the biggest in Africa right now. So if you want your agricultural farm to start, to succeed, please do not over concentrate on so many things. Choose only one product. Now, if you love to start your farm and what you want to start your farm with is pig, please concentrate on your pig. Even if you want to do poultry as a hobby, just for feeding for your family, not a commercial poultry. So you can keep like 10 birds so that your family can be eating from the 10 birds. You can also, if you want to do fish, You can just buy a tarpaulin fish and put like 50 fish so that it is what your family can use and be eating. But your main product should be that pig. Concentrate only on that pig. Do not get distracted until you have already succeed in that pig. That is when you can decide to expand to another thing. Don't allow your friends to tell you that you can now farm rice, that rice is going to be 1 billion next year. Let the friend go and farm the rice. You are already building something. There is a difference between gambling and building. Do not gamble with your money. So if I am rebuilding my farm, just as we have the blueprint and we're already working on it, and I will review it immediately I'm ready on this channel, I will only choose one product and I'm going to concentrate fully on that product. Okay? Now, the second thing you need to know about the secret to building a successful agricultural farm is what we call rotation. This rotation, it might sound simple to you, but it simply means cash flow. You see, cash is king. And no matter what, the person that have cash have more advantage than the person that have only asset and do not have cash. So if you are to build a successful agricultural startup right now, a successful farm right now, please try to see how you can maintain cash flow in your farm. And you can only do that by rotation. So let us assume that you want to start a successful poultry farm in Nigeria or in Zimbabwe. What do you need to do right now? You need to know now what type of poultry I want to do. Let us assume it is broilers that you want to do. What is the maturity time of broilers? It's usually 8 weeks for a commercial farm. 6 to 8 weeks is what you need in order to sell off your broiler. So you now need to divide this your broiler farm into 3. Since it is 6 to 8 weeks, if you divide it into 3 with the difference of 3 weeks, you will always have broilers to sell every week. You always have broilers to sell every week. So if this every 3 weeks, you always have broilers to sell. So that means it before the other one get ready, you are selling across the 3 weeks. So it's like having broilers to sell every week. So let's assume now. Follow me, okay? Follow me so that you understand and take note of what I am saying. Let's assume that your capacity for broilers right now is 600. You can produce 600 birds. Even if you have the market for 600 birds right now, that people are telling you that if you just finish production right now, that they are going to pack all the birds. Please, 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 do not produce the 600 birds. If you get disappointed, you will not have any money to continue and you will fail. Your birds are going to die. The best thing you need to do is to divide that your 600 capacity into 200 capacity, which is 3. The first 3 weeks, put in 200 birds and concentrate on feeding the 200 birds. When the birds are 3 weeks old, then put another 200 birds. So when the birds are now 6 weeks, the second batch is already 3 weeks, then you can put in another 300, then another 200, making 600 right now. But within this 600 right now, you have already given them a rotation interval of 3 weeks. So when you are selling the first batch to maturity, you are already having another batch that is coming from the behind. That way you always have cash flow in your agricultural business. That way you always have cash flow in your farm. You will not be tempted to borrow money from the bank. You will not be tempted to borrow money from investors. You will not be tempted to borrow money from your family or your friends. So you always have a mitigation. You are your own bank. You can be able to plan your life. I hope you understand. If you understand, write it on the comment section that I understand. Okay. Now, the third secret that you need to know about this secret of farmers that have built successful farm, in which I am implementing right now to rebuild my farm to its glory days, is progression. I call it small progression. Now, if I call this word, it's usually very little in your mind, but listen to me so that you understand what this progression means. What is progression? Let us start with big companies. If you look at big companies and you have worked in big company just like me, that have worked as a business development executive for one of the biggest pharmaceutical company in West Africa for 14 years, you will know that progression is something in big company. Big companies, they have target. They have what they want to do, and they have target to achieve that thing that they want to do. They have operation manager, they have HR, they have finance manager, they have business manager. They have so many structures that will make the business to move from point 1 to point 2. Now, in your small farm, you might not have the money to have all these departments that I just mentioned. But your ability to do little things in a big way matters a lot. So if you are building a farm right now and it is a small farm, please make sure that you structure your farm in a progressive way, just like the big farm. Consider trying to get a bookkeeper and pay the bookkeeper in order to keep the books in your farm. How much did we buy this goods? How much feed have we spent on this good? What is the sickness of this good? Consider getting a financial bookkeeper so that you know how much you are spending on your farm. Create a different bank account for your farm, and please link your bookkeeper to the account. You are not giving the bookkeeper access in order to move money from their account, no. But let the bookkeeper see when money leave their account. Let the bookkeeper be able to see alert when money enter into their account. Africans will always tell you, I don't want this person to know how much we have in my farm. See, if you have a bookkeeper and the bookkeeper can be able to track the finance of the farm, you will really know where the problem is coming from. Whether it is you that is eating up the farm's money and later you will say agriculture is not profitable, or whether it is the farm that is really eating up the money and it is not bringing any profit for you. Also consider getting operations. Get somebody that you can hold responsible for operation. Let you people have weekly meeting to agree on the KPI, to agree on the tasks that need to be done on the farm that week. And every day, they should send a report using WhatsApp to your phone, showing the reports of picture, videos, showing that they have done it. Now, even if you are in the diaspora and you have a farm, please implement this method. Even if you are living there in Africa or you are staying in your farm, let them also do videos. Consider assigning a phone to some of the key HODs, those that are in different departments of your farm. Give them a smartphone so that they can be able to snap and video what they are doing and send to you real time. Consider doing unlimited data if it is possible, and add them to that unlimited COG data so that they do not use data as an excuse not to give you a report. Now, listen again as I highlight these 3 points I have mentioned. This is not the only 3 points, but I'm going to be doing more videos about the secrets I have learned and which I am going to apply if I am starting up my farm again to become very strong. The farm is still there, but the production we are doing at the farm right now is basically renting out to people, and people are doing the stuff and paying me rental. But if I am to start off fully on my own, I'm going to be implementing these ideas again. Now, on a recap, if you want to start a successful agricultural firm right now, you need to first of all focus on one product. Agree only to do one product at a time. Number two is rotation. Create your product in batches. Do not outuse your capacity at once. If you are into maize farming and you want to find maize, please create it in batches. And when I'm talking about maize farming, I'm talking about those that also do irrigation and all that. And now structure your business to have a progressive mindset. Structure your business just the way that big companies structures their business. If you do this, if you apply just these three things to your agricultural farm right now, you are going to see difference from what you had before.